is Misha Houston, and I'm here to do my review of If Loving You Is Wrong. Tonight's episode is entitled Something is Rotten. And I have to say, it was a very entertaining episode. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst either. And I did find myself very much entertained by it. So, thank you very much, Tyler Perry, for giving us something good. We had a week off from last week, and I'm glad that they came back, with a decent episode. So, thank you very much, Tyler. Now, the first group of people we go to is Esperanza, Eddie, Steven, and Lucian. Eddie bursts into Esperanza's house and gets into a bad fight with Steven, with Esperanza screaming for him to stop in the background. Then Lucian comes in and breaks them up. Eddie screams, "What is wrong with you? Anyone but this fool." And then Esperanza says, "Why are you in my house again?" Then Lucian leaps in the middle of them, and Lucian says that if you keep coming back here, I'm going to have to take you down. Ed then threatens Stephen and Lucian and calls Esperanza a dumb bitch. They all yell at Eddie to leave, and then he reluctantly leaves the house. After he leaves, Lucian screams at Stephen and asking, "What's going on here? Where are your clothes?" Esperanza then tells them to both get out. She doesn't even, give Stephen back his clothes. She just wants, all of them to leave her house and just send Stephen outside, with half of his clothes off. um just after they leave the house, Lucian asks Stephen, "What's wrong with you? What are you doing? Are you crazy? What happened?" And then Lucian, Stephen explains to him, saying that I was there with Esperanza and I was I was trying to help her and fix the bullet holes, and then the paint spilled on his clothes, and then, one thing led to another, and then they ended up on the counter together. Lucian orders him into the car, telling him to put on his clothes, and they both drive off. Oh, it was just a crazy, silly scene, but it was entertaining, I have to say that. The next two people we go to is Marcy and I Am. Marcy, gets a call from Ian, at her office. Marcy asks if he is having second thoughts about the house, but he just wants to know, it, does the house have vents on the floor or on the ceiling? She doesn't, he asks about this because his son has asthma. Marcy doesn't know the answer, but she says that she will call the realtor and that she will have an answer for him very soon. Ian also wants to see the house again. And, and because he has a client across the street, he's going to be in the neighborhood and he wants to see the house again. Then she starts to question Ian about, the client that he's seeing next door. She asks him a series of questions. She asks him, "Who is it?" And if it's a criminal case. Ian, being the lawyer, refuses, to sell out his client, and he says that he is not, permitted to answer. She then asks him one more question. She asks him, "Is Randall your client?" And but Ian, doesn't know who Randall is. And Marcy confesses that Randall is her ex-husband, and he lives on the other side of the street. Ian then asks Marcy, does he know Larry? And Marcy says yes, that they were college roommates together. Ian says that, "Oh, that's interesting, and I wouldn't represent that guy for anything." So apparently, Ian has heard things about Randall through Larry, and apparently it's nothing good. Marcy says that it's been a bad day, and Ian says that he hopes that the divorce, comes through soon. Marcy agrees, to what he's saying, and Ian says that he will talk to her later, and then they hang up. I really enjoy Marcy and Ian together. I mean, they are the only ones in this story, apparently, trying to move in a different direction, and I really, really appreciate that. The next two people we go to is Brad and Alex. Brad comes down the stairs while Brad offers her a glass of wine. Brad observes that it took a long time, and she said that the baby was exhausted and she put him down for a nap. Brad asks if the baby is sleeping, and she says yes, he is. Brad asks, what did the doctor say? And Alex says that the doctor said that the baby was fine and gaining weight and everything is okay. Then Brad brings up the DNA test and she starts to lie to him. Everything after that question is an absolute lie. She lies to him multiple times, saying that she switched the results. Brad is surprised that the doctor would do such a thing and put herself on the line. And Alex says that she is shocked as well. Brad believes her lies once again. Then Brad says that, well, at least we won't have, we won't have to deal with this until he gets older. But since he looks so much like Randall, we're going to have to talk to him eventually. Brad is hoping that his looks, the baby's looks, will change. But Brad, sees that as something that is impossible or it's just wishful thinking. And I really, really think that it was an insult to the baby. She's hoping that the baby won't be who he really is. I mean, apparently she wants the baby to wake up being white and British, but I don't believe that's ever going to happen. Then Brad brings up, his teenage years and that they're going to have to talk to him about that. But Alex cuts him off, saying that we'll come to that bridge when we come to it. Alex says that she is glad that he is home and Brad agrees. They both cheer each other and they clink their wine glasses. She offers to help put his things away and offers to make him, some dinner. But Brad was going to put his things away himself and that he was going to start cooking dinner for the kids. Then we see a shot on the table that, and we see in that shot, we see that the camera is still recording. So all of this time, apparently all night, I think maybe even all night, the camera has just been recording everything that's been going on in the house. Ever since he pushed, yeah, ever since Brad pushed Randall off that ladder, it's just been recording all that time. Now, the next group of people we go to is Natalie, Kelly, Ian, and Lucian. Natalie and Kelly have cleaned up Kelly's house, and she remarks, that the house does look a little bit better. Kelly thanks Natalie for help cleaning up her house and taking care of Justice and for the gun as well. Natalie says that we need to talk about the gun. Kelly knows that she should not have had the gun in the house and that she should have had a safe. And now she just wants to get rid of it. Kelly tells Natalie that the police took the gun and Natalie advises Kelly to have the gun checked out. Kelly, is dismayed that Justice touched the gun and she, partly wants to punish him, but she also takes the blame upon herself and that she knows that he is going through a lot right now. Kelly says that she asked Natalie, can you believe that Travis called him? Kelly says, Travis is messing with my son and I will not let him do that. Natalie wants her to calm down and Kelly remarks that, oh, that's a switch. Natalie knows that things are out of hand and she believes that Travis is responsible. Kelly says that she wants to go on with her life, but he won't let her. She has tried restraining orders, she's pleaded with him, and she wonders what else does she need to do. Kelly is at her wit's end and can't keep dealing with this anymore. Natalie assures her that she will get through this. Then Ian comes by and Kelly asks if the police took the gun and Ian says yes. Then Natalie asks if the gun have a serial number on it and Ian says yes, it did. Natalie is relieved by that. And then Kelly asks, did you have your friend sell me an illegal gun? And then Natalie says that she was just asking. Then she makes a quick goodbye and leaves both of them. Outside, Natalie calls Lucian and asks him to check out Kelly's gun. She tells him that the gun did have a serial number on it and that it should be legitimate. But Lucian says that yes, it could be legitimate or it could be stolen or used in some other crime. The They are going to use the serial number, to try to find out exactly where the gun came from. Natalie is worried about the gun and wants him to check it out. Lucian is still upset with Natalie for for telling Kelly that she should go to Michelle, but Natalie said that she needed to defend herself. Natalie again asks Lucian to check out of the gun and then he agrees to do so. Lucian wants to know about the serial number. What's going on with the serial number? Did you get the serial number from them? But she says no, it was Ian, Kelly's lawyer, who told her. Lucian asks, why didn't you get the serial number yourself? And Natalie replies that they were already suspicious and she tried to, but they were already suspicious about her asking so many questions about the gun. Lucian agrees to check out the gun and then they hang up. So, later on in the episode, we're going to find out the origin of that gun, and apparently it's just going to be even more trouble for Kelly. Now, the next group of people we go to is Alex, Brad, and Natalie. Alex and Brad are in the kitchen when Natalie comes by to talk to Alex, and she is asking the $1 million question: is this Lucian's baby? Alex assures her that it is not true. Brad believes that it is not Lucian's baby either. Natalie says that this issue keeps coming up, and where is it coming from? Alex says that she, was in a bind in court and she told everyone that the baby was not Randall's. Another lie. Natalie then asks, then why is Lucian involved? Alex says that it was Randall's idea, which was another lie. It was actually hers. It was Randall's idea, saying since Lucian was the only black man that Alex knows. Then Natalie asks, how did the DNA test not match Randall? She knows that the baby could not be Brad's. Then Brad tells Natalie that a doctor and friend of ours switched the DNA results. Alex is upset that Brad told Natalie that, but Brad thinks that Natalie should know the truth. Brad says that he believes in Alex and that it is not Lucian's baby. Natalie eventually says okay, says thank you to Brad, and then she leaves. After Natalie leaves, Alex asks Brad, do you think that was a good idea? She's worried that Natalie may fly off the handle and tell someone. Brad says that she needs to know the truth and it may, put her questions to bed. Brad thinks that if she thinks that it is Lucian's baby, it is really no good either way. Brad says that she hates Randall just as much as we do, but that only scares Alex. And she thinks that if she flies off of the handle, she may tell someone that she shouldn't. And she's also afraid of what Natalie may say and who she may say it to. Brad says that it'll all be fine, and Alex says that she hopes so. But we know it's not going to be fine because all she has done was tell another lie, and apparently Brad has spread that lie, to Natalie. And when Natalie finds out the truth, she's going to be livid. Now, the next two people we go to is Ian and Kelly. At Kelly's house, they are talking about Travis, and he says that he is having Travis followed, but all he does is go to church and then back home. Ian asks, has he contacted you? And Kelly says that she has had phone calls, strange phone calls, and then they hang up. Ian wants her to sign an affidavit so they can subpoena her phone records and text. Ian then talks about the knife and the hairbrush and asks, are you sure that Justice had nothing to do with this? Kelly, is adamant that Justice is not responsible for any of this. She is sure that you know, did, that Travis is responsible, and she doesn't even entertain the idea that it was Justice. You know, Justice is a little boy, and Ramsey was a big, strong man, and she knows that he had nothing to do with it. Ian says that he will talk to the DA and have him brought in for questioning, but he will not be brought in, by force. He will have to come in voluntarily, since he may not be charged. Kelly asks, she asked him, he can do all of this to me, and we just have to play nice with him. Ian says that we will have to play nice with him until we are sure that it is him. Ian tells Kelly to be patient and we will get him. She wants to know when she can have her gun back. Ian says that it is in evidence right now, but he will try to get it. Kelly is concerned that Travis may attack her, one night, and she wants protection for herself and her son. Ian says that he will see what he can do about getting the gun back. And then he asks her, have you ever fired a gun? And Kelly says no. He advises her to go to a shooting range to learn how to shoot a gun and also to get a gun safe. She says that she has to pick her son up from school, and then Ian says that he's done, and then he leaves. Kelly is in a bad way, and there's apparently no one to truly help her. So she's considering violence, to get her way out of this. And you know what? I ain't even mad at her. I don't hold it against her at all. Maybe, there needs to be some sort of a violent action to get this crazy man out of her life. Now, the next group we go to is Marcy, Ian, and Randall. Ian is outside when Marcy drives up, and then they both go into the house to inspect it. In the house, she says that the seller is willing to go lower on the closing cost if he is willing to move up the selling date, and Ian is happy with that arrangement. Marcy says that they are desperate to sell because of the divorce. Ian agrees, to the plan if the inspections are good, and he is willing to comply. Marcy assures him that the house will pass inspection and that she knows the inspection company and they will put a rush on it. Marcy then tells him to take a look around the house and she'll be outside waiting for him. And then she goes outside. Now, she's standing outside minding her own business when Randall drives up. And he asks her, oh, so you were laughing at me? And Marcy says, yes, I was. Randall says that, oh, we'll see who's laughing soon. And then Marcy replies, yes, we will. Randall asks, Randall asks, you went to my friend to represent you? And Marcy says, yes, I did. Randall says, do you think you're slick? Do you think that he'll be on your side? And Marcy just tells him to sign the divorce papers. But Randall, refuses to do that. He says, I'll never do that. Marcy, asks, tells him, I gave you the house, I gave you the car. What else do you want from me? Randall says that you left the debt. And Marcy says, I don't care. It's yours. Just get me out of this. Just let go. And he says no. Marcy insults him, calling him sick. And then he smiles and says, yes, I can be. Then Ian walks out of the house and asks her if she is okay. Randall immediately begins to accost him, saying that, "Oh, who is this?" And Ian says, he gives his name. Then he goes and embarrasses Marcy in front of Ian and asks him, "Are you sleeping with my wife?" And then Ian just looks at him and looks at Marcy and says, "Can we go back into the house and look at the kitchen?" And then they both go back inside. Randall shouts at them, saying, "Oh, maybe you should show her the bedroom. She'll sleep with you, anything to sell the house." Completely embarrassing Marcy in front of him. Back inside, she apologizes. He asks if she is okay, and she says, "Yes, I'm fine," and that she's used to this. Ian said that this is not good, you being used to this kind of behavior. Marcy says, "What choice do I really have right now?" She says that Larry is representing her and that he apparently is on the case. Larry, y'all. Ian doesn't like it, but Marcy, doesn't really want to talk about it anymore and then changes the subject to the house. She asks, "Did you see what you wanted to see?" And he says, "Yes." She asks him, "Did you have any second thoughts?" And he says, "No." Then he flirts with her and asks her out to dinner, and then she agrees, and then they leave. And I'm glad she deserves that. She deserves to have a night out where she can just chill and sit and talk and flirt and drink and have a good time. And I really applaud that they're, trying, making some sort of attempt to move Marcy in a different direction. Now, the next group of people we go to is Larry, Randall, and two other patrons in a restaurant. And this was a very, very weird scene. um I don't really know what they were trying to, attempt with this, but apparently they were trying to build up some sort of sexual tension between the two of them, but their chemistry just really, really seemed off. I don't know what's going on. I honestly don't know, what's going on, with those two characters and what part they play together. I just don't understand it. I really, really don't. But I'm here to explain it, and here I go. Larry is sitting, with two other patrons in a restaurant when Randall comes in. He says, "Oh, you're up to your old tricks again?" Then Larry goes and leaves the two patrons and gets a table with Randall not too far away. Randall tells him that he tells the patrons not to believe anything that Larry says. Apparently, Larry was trying to hit on the guy, I believe, and Randall knows that he is either gay or bisexual. Apparently, he is gay and bisexual, and apparently, he's a philanderer as well because apparently he's cheating or making some attempt to cheat on his wife with those two other patrons. So apparently, Larry is not a good person. And I'm not saying that because he's a gay man, but I'm saying that because he's being unfaithful to his wife. Now, Larry, didn't think that Randall would come and said, Randall didn't think he would come either. Larry is happy that he's here, but he asked him, why did he come? Randall replies that Larry is the one who's buying the drinks and that he owes him from last time. The waiter comes by and Randall orders the most expensive cognac. Randall says that you're representing my wife. Oh, yes, it is like that. Larry says that I am friends with the both of you. And he's trying to, I guess, be friends with the both of them, but Larry's gonna have to pick a side, sooner or later. Randall says that does does she know anything about us? Does she know anything about the past? And apparently Larry says no. Randall says, does she know anything about him or the two of them together or their past? And he says no, she doesn't know anything. Randall says, I know that why you invited me here. I know that you're just trying to see how angry I am. Larry says, Larry says, no, that's not true. But Randall is not fooled by any of this and says that he can see right through him. He says, as much as I want to bust you in the head with this glass, your secret is safe with me. Larry says, thank you. Randall then asks, why did you agree to represent her knowing what I know about you? Larry explains that I did it for the both of them because he doesn't know what Marcy knows. Randall assures Larry that Marcy doesn't know anything about the past. Randall says if Marcy knew something, do you think that she would have come to him? But Larry is concerned that Marcy was trying to play him. But Randall says no, he's telling the truth and no, she's really seeking for a divorce and this is not a ploy. She's broke and she really had no choice but to go to him. Randall wants to leave, but Larry wants Randall to stay so they can both get caught up together. He says that his wife and kids are out of town and it was very stressful for him trying to take care of twins. Randall gets offended, by the fact that he has children and he does not. And Larry apologizes for that. Randall says that him and Marcy tried so hard to get pregnant, but nothing ever happened. Then Randall goes into the story of his affair with Alex. Larry says Marcy told him that he had an affair with a neighbor and there's a baby. And Randall confirms it. Then he says that Marcy slept with my neighbor's husband and then moved in with him. Then Randall tells Larry that the baby was not even his. After all of that, the baby was not even his. Larry is blown away by all of this. Randall admits to asking every man on the neighborhood that, if he knows Alex. Larry thinks that this is just crazy. Randall says that she was cheating and lying, but Larry retorts that you were both married and you were both cheating and lying. But Randall doesn't want to hear of it. He can never admit his faults. He's always harping on someone else's. He, he sees himself as the injured party and thinks that he didn't even know another black man, that she didn't even know another black man. Then Randall admits to setting up a camera in front of her front porch, and gets an alert on his phone every time she comes out of the house. Larry thinks that this is very unhealthy and needs for him to reevaluate the situation. Randall thinks that he is judging him, but Larry says that he is truly worried for him. Then Randall shouts, just shut your ass up. He orders one more drink and then he says he wants to sue Brad for pushing him off the ladder, and Larry agrees to help him. Then Randall and Larry, talk about the two patrons and talking about all their shenanigans that they had going on in college. They say something like, "Oh, all I need is two drinks. All I need is two shots, and then I'll have them both." Apparently, they were doing something together in college, probably running some schemes or some cons or something like that to get people into bed. I'm not quite sure what it is, but I'm sure we'll find out later on in the story. So they both go back to the two patrons and they both strike up a conversation with the two of them. Now, I mean, I don't know as I said before, I don't know what's going on, but it's something. Something is going on, something is rotten, something is not right. Something is certainly not right with Larry. I mean, as I said before, I think that he has, sexual feelings for Randall or something like that. I'm not sure. But it's really, really something going on between those two. And apparently it's not good. Now, the next three people. Is it three people? Yeah. The next three people and the last scene belongs to Esperanza, Natalie, and Lucian. Esperanza comes by Natalie's house and goes into what happened, at her house. She's crying about Eddie, saying that she doesn't know what to do about him. Esperanza tells her about Eddie and Steven and the fight that they had. And she tells Natalie that Eddie came home. No, she came home and found Eddie there. She shot him out of the house. And then Steven was there to fix the bullet holes, and one thing led to another. And Eddie saw them having amazing sex. She said that his body was insane and that he was there at the right time, and she just let it go. Natalie then goes to get wine, excited about what she's hearing. She says that she was so angry with Eddie, and Steven was there at the right time. Natalie teases Esperanza by calling her a freak, but she says that Steven had been flirting with her for months, and she was trying to ignore him, but today apparently was the right day. Natalie says now that is very angry, he's upset, he's pissed off, and that you've created a monster, which is true. Eddie asks, "What are you going?" No, excuse me. Esperanza asks Natalie, "What is she going to do about this?" Natalie asks, "What is Steven saying?" Esperanza, admits to taking advantage of him and that she needs to apologize to him for using him. Natalie says that I bet that he doesn't feel taken advantage of. I bet he feels screwed. Natalie says how she asked her how was it, and Esperanza said it was good, like I want to do it again. Natalie, asked her was Stephen better than Eddie, and Esperanza says, "Oh, yes, he was much better than Eddie." Then Lucian comes home and Esperanza makes a quick exit. After Natalie, after Esperanza leaves, Natalie observes that Lucian, is not telling her about what happened. He sees her leaving and she knows that there's something going on, but Lucian is obviously not telling. And then Natalie admits to telling him that she knows exactly what happened between Esperanza and Stephen. She wants to talk more about that, but apparently Lucian abruptly changes the subject to Kelly. He's come home after checking out the gun and he tells Natalie that the gun was a stolen gun and it was reported stolen by Ramsey, and that the gun was found in Kelly's possession. Lucian tells Natalie that this is going to be a bad thing for Kelly, and apparently the problems are just getting started. And that is where the episode ends. Thank you so very much for watching my review, and I will be back next week for the next installment. The next episode will be entitled Dark Intentions, and I think it's going to be a good episode. Tonight, my two MVPs were Ian and Marcy because I'm enjoying the fact that they're moving Marcy in a different direction, and I really, really like Ian, the shyster that he is. So, for that reason, I have chosen for Ian and Marcy to be my MVPs. Come back next week for the next episode, and I also want to apologize for getting the video up so late. It was just a very busy time and I was exhausted, and when I should have been writing up the episode, I just fell asleep. So forgive me, and I will try to be on time for next week. Enjoy your life as I do, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you so much.